In Module 2, our focus will be on cash flows and cash flow statements. In Chapter 1, you already learned a little bit about the difference between accrual accounting and cash accounting, and these cash flow statements, particularly the one you are going to focus on, which is the indirect cash flow statement, basically reconciles accrual net income into our cash basis of accounting. So as you're reading through this chapter, and please make sure that you are fully reading the chapter, make sure that you're taking a look at the different examples, and I would recommend having a piece of paper next to you so that you can kind of work out some of the math as they're explaining it, because otherwise you're just going to be reading a bunch of numbers and numbers on a piece of paper. You're not quite going to be getting the full understanding of it. And your Module 2 assignment is going to require you to create an indirect cash flow, so it's going to be important that you do understand the examples that are provided in this chapter. Let me go ahead and find the page that kind of starts talking about it. Here's Exhibit 3.6 where it kind of starts. Oh, yeah. So around page kind of 136, maybe 137, they start getting into a little bit of an example about what a statement of cash flow could look like. For your assignment, you're only going to be doing 1 year, but you are going to be separating it into 3 sections: the operating section, the investing section, and the financing section. Now, when you were in your lower level accounting courses, that is where you probably first saw a statement of cash flows. You most likely learned about an indirect statement of cash flows. And one thing I want you to keep in mind is that when you were in that lower level accounting course, we gave you a lot of very strict rules about cash flows. And here, you're going to have to read the textbook a little bit more thoroughly to see how some of the more advanced topics are going to be treated within the statement of cash flows. One thing that I would recommend you take a little bit of time doing is, as you're working through your Module 2 assignment, have your textbook ready, because you are going to want to go back and read the relevant pieces of information for those topics. For example, let me see. Your module assignment, most likely, unless I decide to change it, is going to include some deferred tax information. You're going to have deferred tax assets and deferred tax liabilities, and you're going to need to know how to treat those on the statement of cash flows. If you have any other questions, please be sure to let me know, or go ahead and list your question in the Ask the Class section. And remember, as you're going through this, you do have a midterm coming up in Module 3, so make sure that you are kind of creating your study guide as you go along. Okay? If you have any questions, let me know. Happy studying.